welcome to episode 7 of Wrap Your Lugs Round This. Thank you very much. If you've listened to episodes 1 to 6, it means a lot to me. And thank you for coming back and listening to episode 7. This is primarily going to be a Fringe podcast. Surprise, surprise. But I did warn you. I did say I was going to do a few episodes leading up to the Fringe before I hit my Fringe review episodes when I do land at the Fringe. So it's nearly here. Yeah. How quickly time does fly from last year's Fringe. So yeah, I'm absolutely buzzing for this year's Fringe. So on this episode of the podcast, we'll be having a few features for a few shows, a couple of shout outs and whatnot. And I think I'll also be throwing a little bit of travel stuff in there as well. Just surprise you, keep you on your toes and that. Talk a little bit about travel. So yeah, that's going to be thrown into the Edinburgh Fringe mix, which might freak you out a little bit. Hey, that's what we do. Freak you out. No, we don't. I don't know why the fuck I'm saying that. Okay, but yes, why not get into it right here, right now? So, to kick things off in this episode, I'm going to talk about my favourite things at the Fringe as a performer and as a theatre goer. I've been there 3 times now, in 1988, early 2000s, and then last year's Fringe as well. So I've been a performer, I've produced, I've written as well. So kind of, I like to think I know my way around a little bit. So one of the greatest things I enjoy about the Fringe is connecting with other performers, other companies. And one of those reasons is because, if you're there for the entire run, you're there for a month, yeah, you go through some shit. You get tired, your brain gets frazzled, and it's great to talk to other people who are going through the exact same stuff that you are. It's like having a shoulder to cry on. It's like having, therapy sessions. You can go and sit and have a beer with other companies, other performers, and just rattle through all your problems. And by the end of it, you'll feel good because you know that they're all going through the same thing, and they can offer you advice, and you can do the same, vice versa. So that's one of the great things, is connecting with other companies for that reason and many other reasons. Like, reach out to them and they can spread the word about your show and you can do the same about them. It's a great network. It's a great community if you click with other companies. Last year, we clicked with a few and we went to see their shows, fill some seats on an empty night just to help push things. And then we tweeted about it and vice versa. So yeah, if you can, just connect with them as many as you can. It's always good to socialise. It's always good to network, and it's also good to just cry over a beer about, how shit your day was, how you hardly had anyone in your audience, how you're not getting any sleep because you're drinking too much. But yeah, so that's one of my favourite things, just connecting with the others that are at the Fringe. And also, don't be afraid to reach out for help. The EdFringe.com website has loads of information. The EdFringe office, they have loads of help. They have, seminars, they have workshops and such. So there's people out there that are willing to help you. Don't be afraid to reach out and go, yeah, I'm struggling with this. I don't know how I'm going to do this. If you don't know how to get out there and promote and flyer, go speak to someone. Go and ask. There's lots of help. Your venue should be there to help you from start to finish. Again, go there, go to the press office, go and see marketing, go see those people and ask and go get as much help as you can. There's plenty on offer, so don't think that because you're asking for help that makes you, weak, not a competent performer or not a competent company. Everyone needs help throughout the Fringe. You're there for a month. Some people, it's a long, hard slog. There's peaks and troughs. You're going to go through 4 days of highs where, you've got loads of people on the street that are taking your flyers and they'll come in, they'll pack your show. And then you'll go through a dip where nobody's coming. So don't be afraid. That will happen, but ask questions, go seek that help. There's plenty of companies out there, your venues, got the websites, go into the offices themselves. Yeah, please do. Reach out. And also, enjoy, There's a lot of things that you can see in your venue. Most venues have the offer of you can see anything in their venues for free. So please do take advantage of that. See as much as you can. Dive in, immerse yourself in as much theatre as you can. You're there. You might this might be your first and only time, but there's a lot to learn. You can learn from so many shows. Go see comedy. Go see physical theatre. Go see clown. Go see sketch shows. Just take as much from this as you can. It may seem like a long time if you're there for the month, but honestly, when you look back, it'll have gone so quick. So if you can use that company pass and see as much as you can, obviously rest up as much as you can as well. But if you have that spare time, go see anything and everything. And if you're there as a theatre goer, try and get there early doors of the Fringe. The previews, the first weekend, the first week. It's the best time to take advantage of things. There's the 2-for-1s. So I think we have 2 days of 2-for-1 tickets. Preview tickets are cheaper. And also, in that first week, go around the venues. Go to the bars, sit in the Pleasance bar area, the Assembly bar areas. If you can sit around the venues, have a cup of coffee, have a beer. Companies might come round with some free tickets. They want to pay for the house for their first couple of shows. They want to get bums on seats to spread the word. So there's a lot of free tickets can go around in that first weekend of the Fringe. So if you're a theatre goer, try and take advantage of that. A lot of companies would rather have bums on seats those first few shows, and then those bums on seats go on Twitter, they go tell their friends, they go on Facebook, they spread the word. So it makes more sense to theatre companies to do that than have empty seats. So yeah, if you can as a punter, take advantage of that. Also, there's the half price hut. I think it's the Virgin half price hut. Should it still be sponsored by Virgin? But yeah, that's a half price ticket booth that has half price tickets every day. Now it's not always the same. Once it opens, get yourself there, have a look at the board, see if there's anything that tickles your fancy. Half price tickets, and that runs throughout the Fringe as well. Okay, it's not just towards the front end, that is throughout the Fringe. So various shows each day, kind of potluck sometimes, but hey, you can find an absolute gem. So yeah, you theatre goers, please take advantage of the half price ticket booth. There you go. A few of my favourite things about the Fringe. I hope they help you. If they don't, then hey, well, what can I say? I tried. So that was a few of my favourite things about the Fringe. Moving on to a few of my favourite things to see at the Fringe. So here we go. Let's see what's on. So those who know me know I'm a huge fan of comedy. All kinds of comedy. Stand-up comedy, physical comedy, slapstick comedy, sketch comedy. So sketch comedy is something I'm going to talk about now. And yeah, I'm a big fan. I think it all started, sketch comedy with me was Python, the Goons, the Goodies, things like that. Then, moved on to some great comedy in the 90s as well, some Harry Enfield stuff, Victoria Wood, things like that, which I thoroughly loved. I was even a big fan of early Little Britain stuff, and you might want to find me in Edinburgh and slap me when you hear this, but I even liked Matt Lucas and David Williams' Come Fly With Me. I know, controversial or what, but yeah, I do love sketch comedy, but I think it's one of those things, especially on stage, to get right. It ain't easy. Those characters have got to be good. The sketches have got to be tight. It can't be any fluff, any guff. So yeah, I've got full respect for anyone that can pull off good sketch comedy, especially on stage, especially Edinburgh. So this next show I'm going to talk about is a sketch comedy show, female performed with a male writer, and this show is called Tami Stone-My Funny Bits. And it's written by Andrew Ludlam from Bit on the Side Comedy. Now, Andrew has written many things before. They have a Bit on the Side comedy sketches, and he started collaborating with Tami Stone back in 2017 with those comedy sketches, which made it onto YouTube. created a great buzz around that, some great sketches there. So yeah, they're bringing their new show to Edinburgh this year. Now, Tami, she started her career at Italia Conti, where she trained in musical theatre. She's done stuff on stage and screen as well. But obviously she's bringing the funny this year. And she says you just can't beat the thrill you get when you make people laugh, which is very true. And I still think it's the hardest thing to do. Whether you're doing stand-up comedy, you're doing a comedy play or sketches, it's damn hard to do. But that thrill when you get that first laugh is unbeatable. So I'm really looking forward to this. Now, speaking of Andrew, he's always said he's been fascinated by characters who aspire to be more than they are. That brilliant mix of blind confidence and self-assurance, coupled with very little talent. Now, that's a great description of a character that I'm going to give you a little sneaky peek of right now. This is one of Andrew's characters, and the sketch is called The Audition.
Oh, phew. I made it. Oh gosh, sorry, forgetting my manners. My name's Madeline Moore. I'm an actress, singer, dancer, model, and I've an MVQ in cuticle therapy. Basically, I'm a Jackie of all trades, really. Been there, done that, got the t-shirt, size 8. But singing is where my true vocation lies, though. My range is mezzo with jazz tendencies, with sympathies towards folk. Truth be told, I have been likened to a young Jane MacDonald, only less controversial. You never know. I might give you a few tunes later. I know all the words to Papa Don't Preach. I'm also a very good dancer. I do take direction very well. I like to freestyle whenever the opportunity pertains. Basically, I'm like a one-woman diversity. I've been modelling now for about 5 years. I just love it. Comes so naturally to me. You see, my mum used to be a model, mainly catalogue work, modelling jewellery, rings, that kind of thing. Back in her day, she was known all over the home counties for her handiwork. They used to say, if you wanted a good finger, call for Mrs. Moore.
So there you are, a little sneaky peek at Miss Madeline Moore. Jackie of all trades there. One of the creations of Andrew Ludlam, who has created this show, Tami Stone-My Funny Bits. Now, this is on at the Space at Surgeons Hall, and it is on from the 2nd to the 17th of August at 8:15. So get yourself along to that. If you fancy a good laugh, strong, funny female character comedy, then, you're in for a treat here, I've no doubt. I'm looking forward to reviewing this one myself. I know it's going to be a cracker. I've got a good feeling in my water about this one. So, yeah, why don't you join me in finding out how funny this show is? And sticking with a little bit of sketch comedy, I'm going to give a shout out to someone that I know, someone that I've known for quite a few years through the theatre scene. I've seen her in many productions, but she's been making her mark in sketch comedy as well, Miss Anna Nicholson. So yeah, Anna did very well at the Fringe last year, and she took her show to the Adelaide Fringe, which she was the winner of the best comedy with that show, and that was called Woman of the Year. And that is back this year as well. She's brought that show back because it was just that damn good. She brought it back, and it's on at the Gilded Balloon, and that's from the 1st of August to the 18th at 1:30pm. And she's also got her new show called Get Happy, and that is on at Just the Tonic Caves from the 2nd to the 25th of August at 5:05. Okay, so please do, again, if you love your female comedy, you love your sketches, get yourself along to see Anna, and you won't be disappointed, I promise you. Now, you might be thinking this is very female heavy, this podcast, but I don't give a shit. We're here to celebrate this. Hashtag Women of the Fringe. I'm going to continue that because something wicked this way comes. And that is in the form of an all-female Macbeth. Yes, this is brought to you by Tread the Boards Theatre Company, who are celebrating their 10th year of theatre making. And what a show to celebrate with, an all-female version of Macbeth. And this ensemble piece is set to explore how the timeless, traditional, typically male-oriented story evolves when it's delivered via the voices and actions of women. Now, it's going to be set in a post-apocalyptic era, which allows the story to hold a mirror to the expectations and struggle for equality within our own modern society and question the feminine strengths and weaknesses. Now, as I said, this is a 10th year of this theatre company, and this is one to actually set the bar and truly celebrate. So this is something I'm really looking forward to. It's got a very strong cast. Catherine Pugh as Macbeth, Phoebe Cresswell as Lady Macbeth, Chloe Knight as Banquo, Georgia Fox Robinson as Duncan Madcuff. You've got Stephanie Austin as Malcolm and Lennox. You've got Ruth Page. It's got a great cast there, and I'm sure they're going to do an absolutely magnificent job of this. Something I'm really looking forward to. I hope it's something that can wickedly tickle your fancy. So please do get yourself along to see that. Now, this is on at the Perth Theatre, The Space, which is on North Bridge. And that is on the 2nd to the 10th of August. So please do get yourself along to see that. It's on at 5:15 every day. That's one to watch. And here we go, moving into my top picks for the week. Yes, these are my top 2 Fringe picks of the week. Now, first off, I'm going to stick with all power to the females here. We're going to talk about Michelle McManus' show, Pop Goes the Idol. Now, I've been a huge fan of Michelle's for a lot of years now. Many will know her as the singer and winner of Pop Idol many years ago. Sorry to say that, Michelle, many years ago, but it is many years ago now. She was the queen of Pop Idol, crowned the winner. But since then, she's done it all, man. She's sang her way to the top. She has performed her way to the top in many, many shows, musicals, cabarets, a lot. She's hosted television. She starred in Still Game, that hit sitcom, which I absolutely adore. So yeah, she's done it all. And, for the past few years, she's been doing it at the Fringe as well. I saw her show last year. Me and the wife went along and we absolutely loved it. She can still sing the back wall out at any venue. Her voice is still top notch. But man, is she funny, honestly. The gags are, they're fast, they're thick, they're funny. She can sling a joke like the best of them, you know what I mean? She is one absolute hoot of a woman, and I thoroughly enjoy her performances every single time. Love her shows. So if you can get to see Pop Goes the Idol this year, you won't want to miss this. And that's on at The Stand, and that runs from the 2nd of August to the 25th of August. Now, this is the show where she'll talk about, her early beginnings with Pop Idol, through to treading the boards at the SECC with the Hoff to open up a little. She talks about it all, the highs, the lows, and honestly, it'll put a smile on your face. So yeah, get yourself along to see this magical show, Pop Goes the Idol, at The Stand from the 2nd to the 25th of August. Now, second top pick of the week goes to Mr. Eddie Izzard. Now, hopefully I shouldn't have to explain who Mr. Eddie Izzard is out there. He is one of the absolute greats, absolute legend of the game in stand-up comedy and comedy in general. Real trendsetter, genre-breaking comedian. And he is at the Fringe this year. Yes, of course he is. He's at Assembly George Square Studios. Now, they say Eddie Izzard was born 150 years to the day after Charles Dickens. So, what better way to celebrate that than do a show called Expectations of Great Expectations. So this is Eddie's new stand-up show, a 90-minute work-in-progress version of the classic Victorian novel. So, yeah, what to expect from that? Not a traditional stand-up show by any means, but it's got to be worth seeing, right? You know what I mean? Seeing someone as great as Eddie Izzard doing something around Great Expectations, it's worth a ticket. So, yeah, I don't have to sell it to you. I hope not. You should be already typing in www.edfringe.com and buying those tickets right now. So there you are. That's my second pick of the week. And that's Eddie Izzard, Expectations of Great Expectations. So there we go. That's my 2 top picks of the week. So So here we are coming to the end of this podcast. Now, I want to thank you for listening. Hope you've enjoyed it. Now, I did say at the beginning I was going to talk a little bit about travel. Yeah, I was going to throw that into the mix just to weird you out a little bit. But do not fret, do not flap. I'm going to start off by talking about camping. Yeah, that kind of travelling. Because this year, when I go to Edinburgh, I'm going to be camping. Yes, a Moulton Hall campsite. Now, it's been a few years since I've camped. It's been a few years since I've camped at that site as well. But, the reason I'm doing it is, hey, Edinburgh's expensive, man. Hotels during Fringe time are just absolutely insanely overpriced. But we all know that. We know it, and we fully accept it. But I thought, why not just do it on the cheap? Go old school, go camping, save a little bit of money. So then I've got more money to spend in Edinburgh. So why not? That was the theory behind the madness for that. So yeah, me and the wife are going camping at the Fringe this year. It is a lovely campsite. If anyone's been there before, I'm sure they'll vouch for it. Yeah, it's great. It's got everything there. You can bring a touring caravan on there. You can camper vans. They do have static caravans there. You can hire wigwams, cabins, the whole shebang. Facilities are great. It's got an on-site pub and the likes. So yeah, it's good, man. It's not too rough. I'm not going too old school. There's no electricity around the tent, so in that sense, I will be kind of cut off a little bit. But yeah, I'm really looking forward to it. It's been a while since I've camped, and I did camp there before, and it's close enough to the centre of Edinburgh. Just jump on a little bus and you're there in no time. So yeah, that's the start of. The start of my coming holidays because yeah, not long after that I'm going off to Spain, so I've got Spain to look forward to at end of September. But yeah, camping is the kick-off for this half of the year and travelling. So yeah, very much looking forward to that because I think it's good to go back to holiday roots. I started off camping when I was very young with family. We used to camp at Whitton Castle. Yeah, there was no caravans back then. It was just pure tent camping, big family tents. I was only a little toddler when we started going there, swimming in the rivers and the like, running around butt naked. It was great, absolutely great. Then I moved on to camping in Ulston in Cumbria, which I absolutely loved, and then we ended up with a caravan there and living the camping life. Caravan in life, and then yeah, just sporadic bits of camping here, there, and everywhere. But yeah, my last camping trip was in fact Edinburgh for the Fringe with a friend of mine, Emma. So yeah, I can't wait to get back to that because it makes you appreciate things. So yeah, it's going to be a total contrast between camping in Edinburgh and then shooting off to Spain, to Salou, which I'm looking forward to that. I've been to Spain before. I enjoy Spain. I enjoy Salou particularly. It's one of those places where it's got a lot going for it. It's not too far off the beaten track, but you can go to places. You can explore. It's not too touristy. It's not Benidorm. You can go off to Barcelona on a day trip. It's not too far. You can go on the train to Barcelona. There's little trips to the smaller villages in Spain, so you get the taste of the older Spain. There's water parks, there's Portaventura theme parks, there's a lot going on. So Spain, Salou is a good little base to see and do a lot. And yeah, it's still cheap there, man, and it's good weather. So from camping in Edinburgh to Salou in Spain, and I got a great deal from that from a friend of mine at Hayes Travel. I always book with Hayes Travel, local company, independent, but the largest independent travel company in the UK. So if you do want a holiday, try booking with Hayes. You won't be disappointed. But hey, I shouldn't be selling that. That's not my job. I'm not getting paid by Hayes. But yeah, it's just a little gentle nudge. They're a good little travel company. They will look after you. They treat you like family. So yeah, that's my my travel bit. Did warn you. But yeah, I just wanted to do that because talking about Edinburgh, camping in Edinburgh, it is an option. You don't have to go for the hotels, the bed and breakfasts, the student accommodations, the hostels. Camping is a possibility. I've seen companies camp there for the entire run of the Fringe. So check it out. It can save you some money. It's a decent campsite. So if you're looking for something an option to do the Fringe on the cheap, I suggest Morton Hall. Get your camping equipment out and get yourself up there. So that's it. End of the podcast. End of another one. So I just want to thank you for listening. Again, as always, it's a pleasure. I just want to give another final shout out to who I featured in the show today. We have Tami Stone-My Funny Bits, Anna Nicholson, her 2 shows. We've got the all-female Macbeth. We've got our top picks of Michelle McManus, her show, and Eddie Izzard. So yeah, check them all out. I'm throwing them your way. Hopefully they'll do some good and get you buying tickets. So thank you very much. Until next time, this is Monkey Boy Miller. This has been Wrap Your Lugs Round This.